Hello, welcome to the episode of Mobility Bros. I'm your host, Ron Hilton. My co-host, Clif Joseph, couldn't be on today, so I'm on here like a one-legged Voltron, doing the thing. So here with our guest, Allison Anderson, and we're going to be covering athletic mindset, mobility, pain reduction, the thought and process of practitioners, and the mindset of our clients and members. So today we're going to be mostly focused on the thought and processes of practitioners. So we have this amazing woman here, Allison Anderson. I'm just going to go through her bio really quick, and then we're just going to have a good time. So Allison was born in Sierra Nevada, mountains of California, and always has been an avid outdoor enthusiast and active athlete. She was a collegiate volleyball and track athlete while getting her bachelor's of science in kinesiology from Westmount College in Santa Barbara, California, in 2003. Allison was in physical education before her husband Brian. Allison is excited to use her passion for movement, kinesiology, and to help all walks of life find a way to live an active, healthy lifestyle. She enjoys helping people with bodily restrictions and find their full range of motion and dynamic mobility. She knows there's nothing more rewarding than helping someone solve a challenge that has hindered their fitness goals through creative and dynamic mobility. She is trained in sports massage, deep tissue massage, trigger point therapy, reflexology, myofascial release, history and touch of health and energy kinesiology, opposing muscle therapy, and rock tape basic and performance application of kinesiology taping, rock blades, rock pods, and rock performance. Allison is a proud wife of Brian and a mother of 2 boys and 2 dogs. She loves volleyball and works with various practitioners in her network to stay up to date in medical and in medicine in the medicine world. So welcome to Mobility Bros, Allison. How are you doing today, hon?
I'm doing great, although I'm exhausted after you read all that I do.
Listen. I literally read this
That's a lot.
5 times, trying to like see how can I like abbreviate it, but I didn't want to leave like a whole lot too much out, just trying to chop it a little bit. But yeah,
Yeah.
pretty awesome. So yeah, it's interesting. When we first met, we actually met at the trials, and I have to say you're probably one of the most prolific therapists I've ever seen. You're very diverse in what you do. You're very diverse in like, especially when it comes to all the rock tape certifications. I literally just finished the first segment of the Blades course. I'm going to do the advanced this
Woohoo.
weekend. So let me ask you, what got you into the rehab world, and how did you end up getting into that passion?
Yeah. So a lot of us, right? We have our own injuries, which lead us down the path of wanting to help other people through their injuries. So I was a high school volleyball, basketball, softball, track athlete. And my sophomore year, I had a really bad ankle sprain. And we had an awesome athletic trainer at my high school, Charity. I still keep in touch with her, which is a huge part of like what you just read. Networking is my
Absolutely.
MO. I would not be where I am today without the people in my network. But yeah, so I had my own injuries. Then I tore my bicep tendon as a softball pitcher. And she helped rehab me through that. So then my junior and senior year of high school, I was a TA for our athletic trainer. And then I also got my personal training certification
Yeah.
and worked at like a sports specific training facility in the area. So I've always been like rehabbing my own injuries, but then around other athletes trying to do the best in their performance world, whatever that might be. And then that just progressed. In college, I was a volleyball player. I ran track in college as well. had injuries there, knew my athletic trainers really well, and um, decided I didn't want to go athletic training because the timing and the schedule did not seem very fun to me. So then thought I wanted to go physical therapy, did a physical therapy internship in Guatemala.
Oh wow.
Loved that, but then realized a lot of physical therapy is working with people that maybe don't have the same motivation that I have to feel good and move well. And so I also am not a super patient person when it comes to me. Like when it comes to working with other people, I have patience, but it was a 2-year wait list to get into a master's program at that time. And so
Wow.
then I went physical education. I was like, I can be a teacher right away. And I actually got a job working as a collegiate volleyball coach. So I taught by day, coached by night and weekends. And I was married at the time, and my husband said, I never see you. And so then we moved to Iowa for his job. My teaching credential didn't transfer. And so then I started working for a chiropractor. So
Okay.
then I like switched my focus from a lot soft tissue work and strength training to like joint mobility and how the muscles help hold the joints and work with all of that. And so learned a lot of that, then moved back to California to work for a physical therapy company. And that company was owned by 4 rock tape instructors.
I
So
remember you telling me
I
that.
learned
Yeah.
all things rock tape because, yeah. So, yeah, I've learned like the strength side as a personal trainer. I've learned the athletic training side. I've learned the chiropractic side. I've learned the physical therapy side. And then with the pandemic, I was laid off from the physical therapy clinic. And so then I just started my own business, Dynamic Mobility. And I
Awesome.
basically bring all those worlds together and
Freaking awesome.
help mobilize people or stabilize. And so, yeah, that's in a nutshell, like how I've come to be, like you said, a very diverse practitioner.
Yeah, I watch you on
'Cause
Instagram, man. Sometimes I'll keep replaying it over and over and over again, depending on what you're doing, because I'm like, it's so good, right? It's like this short little clip of you showing how to release something in the hip or the shoulder, or even like something in the spine. So that's pretty awesome. And the rock tape stuff, man, I freaking love their courses, man. I've taken, I would say all the basics. I'm going through the blades right now. I did the basic, the advanced. I did the cupping. I did the flossing. I haven't done a whole lot of flossing, but I do incorporate. I just started incorporating the cupping, and I did the flossing and the cupping course over the pandemic virtually. So, and you mentioned athletic trainers, so it's interesting that you talked about them. I before I went to the trials, I really didn't know what they actually did, to be honest with
yeah,
you. I had no clue. I remember talking to an athletic trainer online, and I called him a fitness professional, and he got really offended by that. Like he actually told me to stop calling him that. So
oh
but
no,
it's just crazy, right? So but it really brought it all into it. Once I went to the trials, it really brought everything in, especially what I was doing in my work and meeting. And you talk about networking and connecting as well, so that's pretty awesome. So what does like mobility actually mean to you? Like what does that actually mean to you?
yeah, so there's a few different ways to think about mobility. A lot of times we think about flexibility, right? So can you get one muscle through its full range of motion? I think of mobility as flexibility with stability connected. So are you mobile through that full range of motion, but can you control the muscle through its full range of motion? So that's kind of how I would define it. Um, because it separates just being like yoga flexible, right? Can
Yeah,
you get
yeah,
into
yeah.
these positions? But then as an athlete, like mobility is more using that range of motion, but then like being stable, right? So if you're a lateral like sprinter cutter in soccer, for instance, can you plant your foot and then change directions without tearing your ACL?
Right,
Right?
right.
So it's finding that range of motion in your muscles, but with the stability and the strength to generate power, generate speed, or whatever you need for your activity.
That's
And for
awesome.
some people, that's an 80-year-old that needs just stability to walk and not
Just to
trip and fall,
move.
right?
I
Yeah.
completely understand that. This mobility could be just someone that just needs to be able just to pick up their kid, or just to be able to maybe just do a squat, or someone that can bend over, or just could be just turning around, opening up a door. It's just something as simple as that. It doesn't always have to be this athlete exploding off the ground, or twist and turning all the time.
100%. Like I have people all the time. They're like, "Oh, I just went to grab like something out of the cupboard and my back seized on me," right? Like we should be able to move and use our muscles and not have our nerves like overreact.
Nerves overreact, right? Well, it's interesting. When I did the rock basic, I'm not the rock, the Blaze basic. I actually learned some cool stuff, like how So I was someone who did not believe that fascia actually is a contractual tissue. Like I was like
Oh yeah.
sold on that it wasn't, right? And then when I heard that there were fine like little how do they say, like fine like fine fibers in the fascia, that I was like, oh my God, I'm learning something new every day, right? Just it's
Yeah.
just growing and learning. It doesn't matter how long you're in this. You're always learning something about the human body. You're always learning something about what you're learning from other colleagues and how you're growing. um so you started your own business, right? So how is that
Yeah.
going? Did you actually open up a facility? I see you online, but I wasn't sure if it's an actual facility or not.
Yeah. So this comes at an interesting time because I'm actually leaving my facility.
Okay.
I just went to Serbia with a youth water polo group of athletes.
Yeah, that's
And while I
actually
was
gonna be one of my
gone, I've
questions.
heard, I'm sure you've heard, but California's had a lot of rain out here this year
Yeah.
and my place flooded. And
Oh
so
man.
I am moving out. I'm going to move home for a little bit just until I find another facility to not rush into another facility. So I had been subleasing, so it's a hidden blessing because I was subleasing until April 30th, and then I was supposed to start my new contract May 1st.
Okay.
And yeah, my HVAC, like my bathroom flooded. And so it was good timing in the sense that I'm not going to renew my new contract because my facility is not up to par. Bad timing is I landed with 2 weeks left in April to finish with my clients and like move out. And so it's been a little bit crazy. But yes, I did have my own facility for a little bit. The goal is to have another facility. I have some other trainers and
That's what I was gonna ask you.
some physical therapists that I'm trying to work with. So I'd like to have, in a perfect world, and hopefully in the next year, I find a facility that I can bring all these practitioners together, because I would love a chiropractor, a physical therapist, other personal trainers, and soft tissue specialists to be all under the same house working together and being able to refer and bounce ideas and collaborate and have education courses hosted in one facility. So end goal, a little bit of a hiccup right now, but it's okay. We're moving forward.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm so proud of you,
But yeah,
Allison, man.
I love, yeah,
Yeah, I'm so proud of you.
it's a lot, but yeah, thank you.
Yeah, it's a lot. I've always been contracted with someone. I worked with someone that had a facility, and it's always been like that little thing that I'm not sure if it's something I want to do. Like I keep like, and then my wife keeps like, like saying, hey, you should have your own place. Your sports massage therapist, your personal trainer. You have all these things, and no one really does what you do in this area. So, it's
Right.
yeah. So it's I don't know. I just been floating around since I've been retired from corrections. So
Well, yeah, it's hard when you live like you and I live in these two worlds, right? So you need the gym space to do the training
yeah,
and our own training so that we can be healthy and working with these clients of ours. But then also you need the privacy and the space to work with people in the soft tissue area. And there's
absolutely.
not a lot of facilities that can marry those two together. And so it's a challenge to find it for sure.
And I think it's cool that, you're a massage therapist who's going to be managing, these people, these other practitioners, but everyone's working together as a team. And it just really reminds me of me being in the trials. And last year I was out I actually went to the national championships for a week. So that was pretty cool too. And just seeing how everyone's marrying each other and talking to each other and vibing to each other. And, if I can't help release, say, someone's psoas, for example, I can talk to someone else that maybe has more experience on how to do that. And so it's always good to work and have that, like you said, network, always having an
Yeah.
amazing network. Um,
That was my favorite part about rock tape courses. And I was exposed to that first through a rock tape course because rock tape was one of the first companies that wasn't like Graston or,
yeah,
whatever name you want to throw out there, but they opened it to PTs,
absolutely.
OTs, surgeons, personal trainers, massage
Yeah.
therapists, right? And so you take a course and you're able to bounce ideas and see the different perspectives that all the practitioners approach a problem or see body reading with. And then yes, working with Team USA, you have all those high level practitioners right there with you that you're like, man, like this athlete's dealing with this, like
Yeah.
you've got to connect with chiropractors that you work well with and PTs if there's an injury, athletic trainers if there's something acute going on, right? Like, so yeah, I think it's awesome to be in that environment where you can collaborate together.
Yeah, that is awesome. It seems like with the rock tape, they've since the pandemic, it appears that they've gone completely virtual. I've tried to look for like in person, and I missed it. I'm over here on Zoom. I'm like rubbing my leg down and doing this to myself because no one in the house, no one in the house wants to come in here for sit in the room for 8 hours in in an office with a table up and want me to work on them. So it's kind of, but you know what? It is what it is. But I like you said, I even love that when we can talk to other people and connected network. So tell me a little bit about. You say you were in Serbia. You did the Olympic Paralympic training. How was you at the training center? So tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so the week before I went to Serbia, I was down in Chula Vista, San Diego, was actually, I learned this. It's not, so we have two Olympic Paralympic training centers, Lake Placid and Colorado Springs, and the Chula
Yeah.
Vista facility is actually a site. So they call it a training site.
Like, okay.
So it's mainly para track now, and then rugby is also based out of there. It used to be rowing or crew, and well, archery's there as well, and then like some of the BMX and extreme sports used to be there as well. So it's a lot smaller of a field, but it was actually kind of cool. Like China track athletes were training there.
Okay.
Oregon was there. So they open the facility is actually run by the city of Chula Vista now. And then there are archery, rugby, and para track that are Team USA that are there. So it's open more, like there's youth soccer that's there. Professional soccer also uses the facility. So it's a very different feel than the other training centers. But it's always rewarding. I mean, working with para track athletes, like it doesn't get better than that. Those are
That's
some of the
awesome.
best
Something I would love to
athletes in
do.
the world, in my opinion. Yeah.
That's
Yeah, it's
awesome.
definitely worth the experience and working with that medical team too. Unfortunately, while I was there, there was the annual medical team seminar, or I forget what they called it, but it was a conference in Colorado Springs.
Okay.
And so all of the medical staff was on Zoom. So there were three of us interns or volunteers that were manning the sports medicine
Oh
office all
my
by yourself.
God.
So, I mean, it was fine. It was just like being at work, like normal, like welcoming the athletes in, treating them, and then rescheduling or sending them on their way. So,
Just going.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. When I was out there at the national championships, the team was a lot smaller. It was maybe like 10, 15 therapists. I mean, it was really a small team. And I was pulling like 12, 13-hour days, and I was like in the zone. So it was like just, really just working hard and just, even though I was like, like this, I was still trying to do my best to give
Yeah.
value. It's like, oh my God. And I heard
Yeah.
somebody be on my shoulder, Ron, you can leave. I'm like, what, really? So yeah, I get it. I
Like,
get
thank
it.
you.
Yeah, thank you, thank you. Um, so what's next for you in your career? Like, what's next for Allison? Like, what are you shooting for? Like, what are some goals?
Yeah. So on top of being the practitioner that I am also a mom of two boys.
Yeah,
My oldest is about to be a senior in high school,
that's awesome.
which is mind blowing. I can't wrap my mind around that. So it's finding the balance. Like last year, I did less Team USA events
Yeah,
because, well, my father passed away and I
I remember
just
that.
was doing more with my boys. This year, I'm trying to do a little bit more and get back in with some of the Team USA track and field. There's going to be some events in Oregon this summer, so we'll see
Yeah, I
if I'm
definitely
on that
seen that.
team. I'm an alternate for the PNAMs, which is in September, I think. So I'm slowly trying to get back in, but balance the work family routine for the next like 3 years while I have my children with me. But yeah, I'm in this like limbo state too of trying to find a new facility. But my goal, my end goal has always been to go to the Olympics. So we got 2024 coming up,
Yeah,
2026 for Winter Olympics. Um, I'd love to be on that team and
listen,
working with those practitioners over there,
I would
but
too.
we'll see.
I will, I will, I will
Yeah.
buy that ticket. So being,
Yeah.
yeah, I will be on that plane. So I'm hoping I get picked up for the trials, and it's kind of a Scooby Doo mystery if I'm gonna get picked up for the upcoming outdoor national championships. So I don't know. So I don't know what's going on, but yeah. So yeah, it's great talk. This has been a great interview. Anything you would
Yeah.
like to add or end with?
I don't know. Put me on the spot there. I
Well, we're
don't
interviewing
know.
you.
I just encourage people like when I also take, I know, I also take student interns. And one thing I always tell students as they have them coming through is I think there's a lot of pressure to like go out and make a name for yourself or go out and have this like set pathway. If you look at my bio, I'm like all over the place. And so I'm a big advocate of like go try new things, go talk to
Everything.
people.
Absolutely.
Again, I wouldn't be where I am today if it wasn't for all the people that have like spoken wisdom and ideas into my mind. Like Chris File, the chiropractor that I worked for, like he was like, go get your massage license, like you're good at working with people. And
Mm.
like I have him to thank for in huge ways for just putting that idea in my mind. So like get out there, talk to different people, try different things, and continue to learn. like, like I love learning, so it helps me be who I am.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Yeah, one of the best things I can say I ever did was get my massage license. It has opened so many doors for me. Versus if I was just
Yep.
a personal trainer. I think it's being just a personal trainer. Just want everyone out there know, but I feel like being a licensed
Yeah.
therapist and understanding the human body and understanding how to do this amazing thing we do as far as sports work. And I love this stuff, and I just keep enjoying learning. If someone wanted to find you or get, what would they do? You have a website or something?
Yes, dynamicmobility.net. My Instagram's dynamic mobility. My Facebook is dynamic mobility. Everything's dynamic mobility. So
Okay, okay.
yeah, I'm not on Twitter and I'm not on TikTok, but I may be on there someday. I don't know. I'm fighting
Listen.
those still.
Girl, you should get on TikTok. You can do like a mobility thing, you maybe do the robot a little bit. you know?
Oh man. Yeah.
So
It's tough when you work by yourself and for yourself to like find time to be on all those things. But yeah,
I
that's where I
know.
am. And otherwise, yeah, you'll see me on a field or working out with athletes all over the place.
Awesome. Well, at some point, I hope that we definitely see each other in person again. And like I said, if I get an invite, I'm on that plane. So hopefully I will see you. And that's it. That's the end of our show. And I want you to stay
Yeah.
awesome, keep stepping to greatness, and be legendary. Have the most amazing legendary day. Thanks, Allison, for being on the show.
Thank you, Ron.
All right.